Hey, yo, what's up? My name is Myne, and today we are going to be talking about a lot of things on the Hytale podcast. I'm once again joined by my host on this side. I got it right this time.
Yes, you did.
Canadian
Yes, you
Flash.
did.
Let's
What's
go.
good? First
Okay,
time for everything.
we're gonna get right into it. We have a viewer question that we want to really delve into from Super Sharky asking, "What's your favorite known faction in Hytale, such as Quebecs, Farrens, Outlanders, whatever?" So, Canadian Flash, Mr. Canadian. Mr. Flash,
I am
what is
Canadian.
your favorite faction that we know about?
Personally, my favorite faction is the Outlanders. Ever since I saw those like bald-looking, very pale dudes, I thought they were really cool. Thought they had a really cool backstory. I like their color scheme as well. How they live in Zone 3. Everything about them just sort of screams like really cool to me. And yeah, I just really like them. And there's so much more I could talk about. Like their Outlander camps look crazy. Their war or whatever's going on between them and the Fawns. We don't know anything about it, but it seems really cool, and I want to know more about it. So everything about the Outlanders, I like, and I can't wait to fight them in game.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be controversial. I don't really like the Outlanders that much.
How
I
dare you?
I think they're one of my least favorite ones.
Interesting.
Um, I strictly cannot say Farron because I don't know. I don't like Farrens. That's
That's fair.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna give a reasoning. I don't like the
Yeah.
Farrens. Um, I think I like. Okay, so we don't know literally anything about the Slothians. Like, at least we know something about the goblins or the Twerks. We don't know anything about the Slothians, so I think
Hmm.
for that reason, I can't say I like them. But I think I will like them once we do know more information, because I don't know, he's just sitting by that river fishing. That's kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Um, but from the ones we do know, I think I'm gonna have to go with Trorix. Did he name anything other? Scarix exist? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go Trorix.
You did forget to mention the Quebecs. That is quite important.
Helix do exist, but
Yeah.
I think I like Trorix more. I think they're kind of cool.
They are kind of cool. Honestly, I was also on the Slothian bandwagon as well, but I just didn't put them on there because we don't know enough about them because, I do like Zone 4. I love dinosaurs and, they kind of have something to do with them, but we don't know anything about them. So that's why I didn't choose them. I just think we know a little bit more about the Outlanders, so that's why I chose
Yeah.
them over them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Trorix could have some. They're like technically the bad guys because
Hmm.
they will attack you, but I feel like they're just kind of there. Like I feel like they're not like in a gray area. Like they're not bad guys. They're just misunderstood kind type beat, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole point of like the Trorks are supposed to be like that first foe that you sort of fight in the game, and then once you sort of get more overpowered, they're just like, oh, it's a Twerk, whatever,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And I think it's kind of funny. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna see so many like idle animations or interactions with things that are just gonna be funny because they're not the brightest, but I think that makes them lovable.
hmm
Uh,
yeah, I
and
mean, you see them just sort of walking around, and they're like, oh, meat, and then they go after the meat, and then there you go.
yeah, they seem very simple, but
Yeah.
there's one comment I can't get out of my head, and it's from Thankmas, and it's Buddha Cat saying Trorks are his favorite race, but he cannot tell us why. There's a lot more to the Trorks that
Hmm.
we don't know about, and I kind of like that mystery. I'm drawn to it.
Buddha
So
cat. What's this guy saying? I thought he was full on Quebec guy. I don't know about that, but
he's also a Moshorn guy. I think he's an everything
yeah,
kind of
but
guy. You know?
Mosshorns are kind of gross. So we condone Mosshorn violence in this podcast. So we don't like Mosshorns.
To get more subscribers, am I supposed to say I love Moshorns?
I don't
So
know. I hate
most people would
Mosshorns, so
subscribe?
I hate
I
them.
don't know. I'm indifferent. Subscribe if you want. Um, yeah, I think because I don't know what do we not know about the Trorks? What is your guess that he means by that?
They must have some crazy backstory lore that
They
we
have
don't know
yeah,
about,
insane.
right? Like we know that like in the olden days, Scarix used to enslave the Farrens. We don't know that Tworks did something like that to the Quebecs. Like we know we have to
Maybe the
save Quebecs.
Quebec enslaved the Trorks.
How crazy would
Maybe it's
that
like a
be?
reverse.
That would be insane, wouldn't it? That would be wow. I mean, now this then maybe Quebecs are the bad guys. Who knows?
Well, I know so many
Imagine.
people want that to be the case.
So like you can actually justify burning them with a flamethrower because they're the bad guys.
I mean, people have found other ways of justifying it. I don't think that's the
That's
real
fair.
issue.
That's fair.
I think it'd be so funny if like the Quebecs are the mascot. I think there's no getting around that. If the mascot of the game is evil, I think that'd be so funny.
That would be
Because
really
they
so
also
funny.
look so cute.
You see, it's not about appearance. It's about what's inside, and you never know. Quebecs, they could be evil. I doubt it. Very highly doubt it, but they could be.
So there's two ways the Trorks can go. Either the Trorks are obviously like the beginner enemy. You meet them at the beginning of the game, and they're kind of weak. They could, at the end of the game, just turn out to be the strongest enemy, which I think would be super funny. If there's like, these are the beginner Trorks, but once you get to like the late game area, it's like the Ultra Trorks, and they're like the strongest thing you've ever seen. And there's like a discrepancy between the two like weak and strong Trorks, and there's like a huge storyline of like why are they strong and why are they weak.
Yes,
I
just
mean, that'd be
Torques on steroids, basically.
Yeah, they're like super buff. They just
Yeah,
do
yeah.
a bunch of sit-ups the entire time.
Yeah, you see him in a gym.
I think that'd be super funny.
That would be super funny. I mean, I don't know a lot of things about. We know a few things about the Trorks, like we don't know their backstory, obviously, but it doesn't seem like they're all super bad because in some videos you sort of see them like, sort of sparring out of dominance with like a bear. You know how the Trork was like going like this with his arms. You can't see it, but he's like raising his arms to like a bear. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just misunderstood creatures.
See, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they just want to live, and like something is invading them, or something is like stretching their territory, or maybe that is it. That's why they're like bad guys, is because they're just territorial, and once you're on their territory, they're like, okay, well that's not cool. I'm not going in your house, but you're going in my house. Type beat. So maybe that's where the evil, or like the enemy from the Trork comes from. It'd be so cool if you could have like a Trork friend or like a Trork buddy, or maybe there's like a quest where there's like one Trork that's like excommunicated from all, like a Trork camp, but it's like your best friend, and it's like, I don't want to fight.
Yeah,
There's so much
like
to do.
I don't like the Trork's motives. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good guy. It's like Wreck-It Ralph. Like, yeah, you're a bad guy, but are you really a bad guy? That's the Trorks right there.
That's inspirational. That's really inspirational.
Thank you. I mastered in poetry once in my life. No, actually, no, I didn't. That is a complete lie. Anywho, what was I forgot what I was gonna say, man. Forget what I was gonna say now.
I think in terms of the Trorks too, I don't know if this is ever gonna happen, but I can imagine like a bunch of like small animated shorts for Hytale, just like a day in the life of a Trork or a day in the life of a Farron. I think that'd be a super cool series, and the Trorks are just gonna be the funniest one. Like they're just like super fun guys. Just trying to, yeah, I don't know. There's no other word but fun. I think that's the best way to describe Trorks, and it could be so funny. But I actually also want that. I now need this in my life, like an animated short about all of the different tribes and just like their day to day.
So sort of like, remember when Lee made those animatics for the Continental or Voyager SMP? So you thinking something like that? I think that'd be really cool. Lee, watching this podcast. Like she just found about our podcast like a couple days ago. I was messaging her. I'm like, you watch the Hytale podcast? She's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, let me enlighten you. But yeah, so Lee, I'll send this to her. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, there's also one thing that she also doesn't do that I'm not going to flat her out on this podcast here because she'll get mad at me. You know exactly what it is.
It's a certain person she doesn't follow.
Yeah, it's a certain person. A little important here. But
we've been singling out the Trorks a lot. What about the other species, what are they called, factions? Let's talk about the Farrons, because that's one of the only factions that we know about but don't know about. We haven't had a blog post about them. We haven't had any more information or like snippets. We just know they exist and they were enslaved.
Yeah, I mean, I like their backstory and how they have the freedom little bracelets or bracers around their wrists that, you know, shows their freedom or whatever. Like, also wind is an element, but like also wind sort of means freedom as well, which is really cool. I like that whole lore aspect of it, but we don't know a lot about them, just like we don't know a lot about many factions besides the Quebecs, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
or Outlanders. We had an entire blog post about
that's fair. I love the Outlanders, man. They're so cool. They got like really cool purple water and all that stuff. But we're talking about the Farrons. I don't know. I just really like them. Like they could be good guys, they could be bad guys. They sort of seem like in between. I feel like they're a little
They seem like
more.
a very neutral
Yes,
faction.
it's exactly what it is. And same, I guess that sort of goes with every single faction because we know there is a reputation system. So maybe it's easier to be friendly with Quebec than it is to like be friendly with the Outlanders. But maybe if you're friendly enough with the Outlanders, you can, actually be on their good side. Maybe it'll just take a little bit more work. But for Farrens, I don't know how that'll work. Like I think, like you said, they're going to be very smack dab in the middle, neutral. So if you piss them off, yeah, you're gonna get hunted down in the middle of the desert. But if you're good with them, then yeah, they'll be friendly with you. So I want to get
Maybe
your
they'll
thoughts on that.
be like the secrets of the desert.
That's true, and there's something called the Sand Empress that we don't know about. Is it a Farron? Is it a Scarab? Is it something completely different? We don't know.
It could be like a whole new species that we don't know about. But
Yeah,
the Sand Empress, what do we know about it? Like, where was it mentioned?
it's in a concept art that I'm gonna have to pull up real quick here. Sand Emperor Hytale. It's in
Sand.
one of these Zone 2 concept arts.
Oh, no, Sand Empress. We just Googled
Media
that.
page. Yeah, just Google it. It's on the
Oh,
Hytale
it's just
website.
the logo that pops up. Okay.
It is just a
So,
logo, but it's also in the image with the ziggurats. And I think it's
pop
the.
up the logo on screen so everyone else sees it. It looks like a spider.
It does look like a spider. Where
So
do I find it? I'm just
I
gonna read
would
this here.
believe it's leaning towards the Scarix because they're obviously like more arachnid type animals.
I will have to cut you off on that point right there because in one of the concept arts it says underground. This isn't a ziggurat. Underground is a big magic gate. Oh, sorry. Underground, a big magic gate leads to the instance where the Sand Empress is imprisoned.
Imprisoned.
So that's why I'm thinking it's a Farron, considering we know that Farrons were enslaved by
Okay.
the Scarix, right? That's where my brain goes. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on my screen. Put the Sand Palace on the screen too, so
Yes.
people can kind of see what we're looking at. Interesting, interesting. Okay. Oh, this concept art. Okay, that's where the
You see it?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Um,
Is it a
it is a
Farron?
Scarab rune though,
It
because
is.
they show a picture of a Scarab rune, and the Sand Empress is pretty much the same thing.
It is very similar.
The difference
Very
is
similar.
the middle arm is just like stretched out. So, if you're listening audio only right now, think of like an ant, but like two of the arms are forward and one of the arms is back. That is what the Sand Empress logo is. But the Scarab rune is one arm forward, one arm middle, one arm back. But like it's the same exact design otherwise.
Yeah, so in this instance of the Sand Empress, we see how it sort of looks like, I guess, more spider-like, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Is there a specific spider that could be the Sand Empress? Or could just be a special
Spiders
type of
have
Scarab?
anything to do with Zone 2 because that's a Zone 1 animal.
I know. But this doesn't look like a Farron at all. That's the issue.
I think we're saying spider-like because it's like more of an arachnid style look.
hmm
I think it's still scaric.
I think
I
it is. It looks like it.
spiders have what is it, 8 legs, and this is
hmm
showing 6. So
Yes.
I'm gonna pull up a scaric real quick and see how many legs they have.
I believe they do have six, but I think they're all a little bit different. But I don't know. The Sand Empress is a very cool concept to me, and like we
They
said,
do have 6 legs.
I love the mystery aspect that we don't know anything about it. I think that's one of the coolest things, and we don't even know what race the Sand Empress is, what faction it's
I
from.
think that's like the whole thing they're trying to go for is they like teased so much, but they don't want to spoil anything, and I don't think they will spoil anything because they've been very adamant about keeping story and all of that stuff kind of secret.
Yes.
Obviously, also so that they can change stuff, and we're not like, wait, but you said this and now it's this. I think there's also like a safety net in just
hmm
like not telling us a lot about the story because that is something that probably is going to go more under like construction than the game itself. I think they have like a general idea of what they want the game to be, but maybe not the story because the story is a bit more loose. I don't know. I'm not a dev. I'm not in the team,
No,
so that's
not at
my
all.
guess. They also could just be not telling us so that they have a bit of wiggle room to play around with story. But yeah, they've shown so many cool like in this zone there's this, but we're not going to tell you anything about it. And that's
Oh,
like
I
all
know.
the ziggurats. There's the ziggurat has like a crystal on the bottom too.
Yeah, I could probably
What
read
does
that
the
as
crystal
well,
do?
right?
Hello? Is that like a nuclear reactor type beat? Is this like a treasure? Is
Mm-hmm.
this like an egg or like a life form? Like powering everything? There's so much that it could be.
So cool. And in one of the ziggurat images, like it literally says there's a door that like doesn't say, it's just images, but it says door, and then inside of it it literally says crystal room. So like there's clearly something there, and we don't know if anything's gonna be protecting this crystal, if we're gonna have to fight forward, if I don't know, you gotta damage it to destroy a ziggurat. I really don't know. But I'm just so excited. I just wanna learn, man. I wanna just go in a ziggurat the first time, knowing there is probably some sort of crazy looking crystal here. Go in there, probably die a few times, come back, defeat it, and get that crystal and put it in my house.
It could lead to some cool videos or storytelling. Is like someone like you could have someone defending the crystal from the ziggurat, and like other players try to get in, do like a heist kind of
Yes.
gameplay.
Like, do you
And
remember
that could all,
back in the Minecraft days, there was like a game mode called Battle Dome? Battle
yes,
Dome. Imagine Battle Dome with like the crystal and the ziggurats. Like that's the thing you gotta like break or beat to win the game.
so it's like a
Just
capture the flag, but with two ziggurats.
that'd be so cool, man. So cool. Like in
Or
Minecraft, it's just what do? You pop one of those Ender Dragon things, whatever they're called. Those like
the egg.
heal. Yeah, the egg. But like you know how in like some capture the flag Minecraft games, like you like right click the healing thing that heals the Ender Dragon and it sort of explodes and
Oh, the
stuff.
crystal.
Yeah, like maybe something like that. That's what I'm sort of assuming this crystal's going to be sort of modeled closely to, I'd say. But then again, we have no idea.
Yeah, we really don't. And the thing is, in all of these concept arts of this sand palace, there's nothing around it. So the idea of like, hey, maybe this is powering a bunch of like Scarrick villages or living locations, because they don't really build villages.
No.
Also not really that feasible unless it's all underground, because we do see there's some tunnels underneath the ziggurat that lead to somewhere we don't know, because the
Probably.
drawing kind of ends, and then there's a prison cave entrance showing, and then there's like different rooms, so maybe it's just powering it. And then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but what happens if you remove the crystal?
Do all the Scarricks, they just get wiped out? Like, who? I don't know. Is
I
that
guess
powering
Thanos
them?
snap.
Yeah, you never know. I'm thinking more like, remember when little Anakin blew up that like separatist base back in Phantom Menace, and then all the battle droids they just get deactivated. Like I'm thinking something like that. That'd be really cool.
Like the
But
source of power for all Scarricks,
yes.
or like Scarricks in the area, because I'm sure there's going to be multiple of these that spawn.
Oh, for sure. That'd be really cool. Or maybe it just deactivates for a little bit until like the crystal comes back. Maybe it's some sort of like mini game or something. But that'll be weird. Cool. I think that wraps up those guys.
Yeah, so I think our conclusion with Farron was we don't know anything.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a rant
Really
there.
not much we can talk about. There's
Yeah.
like different types of Farrons that I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, they have like different
Um,
colors, right? Like there's like the mom Farons. You could tell their. I guess you could sort of tell their genders. Not that I'm assuming genders, but like you can sort of tell like what gender they are just by the way they look, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, like I think we have an image of a
Remind-
mother Farron walking a baby Farron through an oasis biome.
One thing that reminds me of Farrons is Marowak, the Pokemon. Because do we know what the Farron skulls are? Like, what are they wearing? Because a lot of the Farrons have the skull on their face.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Ever
I
get explained?
kind of weird if it was like other Farons.
Because
That's kind of weird, but
a Marowak in Pokemon wears the skull of its mother.
what does it kill its mother when it's born or something? Like how does that work?
I forgot the real lore about that, but I that's what I know.
Interesting.
So maybe it could be like the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Not to like knock on anyone. Not really a creative idea, considering Marowak does exist. But it would be cool. Shaman with skull armor. It just says skull armor, but I'm like reading through the different text. It doesn't say where the skull is from. Maybe that is a Scarrick skull.
You never know. You never know. Does it look like a scare skull? Let me pull up the Farron thing here. While
Yeah,
we're
because
doing
there's
this.
horns.
There is horn. Okay. Where's my Farron concept art
No,
on here?
that's only this one that has horns. The other one doesn't have horns. I
Hmm.
don't know where.
Yeah, there's other Farron images out there where we've seen them sort of like hunting a snake, I believe it is.
Yes.
And the guy, let me, if I can, I gotta find it. There's so many Zone
I
2
can.
images. Yeah, there's a lot that, like, you could even theorize about the Farrons. And
Yeah, so one
there's so
guy
many
has
mobs of Zone
horns,
2.
the other one has ears. Well, they both have ears, but that one mask has horns. The other one does not
Yeah.
have horns.
Hmm.
They have like different colors on them. So, could that indicate the gender of the Farrons, or is that like different positions within the tribe? One of them's like
Hmm.
a grandmaster. One of them's like just a soldier. It's interesting because
Yeah, I
in the
don't really
cover
know.
art, there's no paintings whatsoever.
No,
So
none at
the
all.
paintings on the Farron skulls could also be a lot of cool lore to learn about.
Yeah, I do like their skulls, and obviously Farrons don't really have horns like that. Maybe it could be. I know one animal that has horns like that is like an antelope. So maybe it could be like the guy with the horns has like the antelope one or whatever. But then the guy with like the little fangs or whatever he's got there, that could be from maybe the saber-toothed tiger. So maybe they just get like skulls from all over Zone 2. But I don't know, just a theory.
Yeah. One last thing we can talk about the Farrons is obviously that their element is wind. How do you think that's going to affect Farrons, and in general, I guess?
Maybe the Farron shaman could be some type of boss out there. Maybe he's, in the image he's got like a little staff, right? And that
Yeah.
staff could probably
He
have wind
summons
crystals
many
in there.
tornadoes or something?
Yeah, he's just like blowing sand all around. That'll be a really cool boss battle.
Oh,
Really,
it's
really annoying.
sandstorm type.
Yeah, it's sort of
Um,
like he'll just create sandstorms with wind or something like that, or whatever
okay, I
he can
can
do in Zone
yeah.
2. I think that'll be cool, but beats me. I really
Yeah.
have no idea.
It would definitely be annoying to fight a tornado guy. Just have like a
Yeah.
bunch of spinning tornadoes.
Then you get blown back every 5 seconds. It's one of
Yeah,
those type of
yeah.
balance
I can already see myself not liking the fight against that.
Yeah, I could definitely get pissed off while of doing that. But then again, there's probably a lot of things that we've seen in other video games that are in Hytale that'll piss us off. So that's cool. But hopefully, as long as it's fun, that's really all that matters to me.
We're gonna move on to your favorite mob, or faction rather,
Yes.
the Outlanders.
I love the Outlanders. But let's get your take first, because I know you don't like them as much.
Okay, so they exist.
They do.
They definitely do exist. They have like the dark, evil-y, but it's not evil because obviously we can't judge a book by its cover.
Hmm.
I don't know. Something like gets me away from them. Maybe it's because they're like the creepy vibe, and I know that's like a cool thing that draws people to it. It's I don't know. It's just dark. It's dark and evil. I don't like it. It scares me.
I mean, yeah, you just must be scared of them in Zone 3 or something. Like, you're going to be pulling up to an Outlander camp and just running away. See, personally, I won't do that. I'll be, like, straight up sparring with these bad boys.
Let's not say I'm gonna be running away.
You better not be, Myne. You better not be.
No, I would not do that. No, but it's just I would not invite them in my home.
Well, I wouldn't either. I don't want spells being casted on me at night. Like, that's
Right,
weird.
but I would invite a Torque to my home.
Really? Starts beating you with a club?
Like a friendly Torque, but like I
Oh,
don't know.
you mean like the good boy
Outlanders don't
Torque?
look friendly, you know?
Yeah, they don't look friendly. They seem like they very, very much worship Varen, which I am not a Varen worshiper, but
Like I would not let an Outlander visit my parents, meet my parents, you know?
no, yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Like, I probably wouldn't let a smelly Chork also meet my parents, but yeah, I could.
Fair
Yeah,
argument. Fair
yeah,
argument.
exactly, because they kind of stink. But I don't know. I just think the Farrons, the Outlanders, have just such a cool lore to them, and I just want to learn more about them. I know we already had a whole blog post about them.
A lot
but-
about them.
Then again, also Hytale does not like to put spoilers in their blog posts. There are very little spoilers about like the lore of these things. So I'm sure every mob that we've talked about so far already has probably pages of lore that we've never even talked about before. And now, once we get the game, we're gonna see so much more. And it's gonna be like, holy cow, this is why Budacat likes the Trorks as his favorite faction. And I want that with the Outlanders. I want them to have even better lore, and for me to say, that is why they're the coolest.
I wonder what the other devs' favorite factions is, because to my knowledge, we only know Buddha's favorite faction is Trorks, and can't explain why. But I wonder what some of the other people, like Propsy, what is his favorite?
Should I live DM Sciolto on the podcast and ask what her favorite faction is?
Go for it.
Hey. Recording a live right now. Quick question. What's your favorite? Watch her say Quebec. Hytale. You know, we forgot to mention the Fen Stalkers as well.
Fen Stalkers. Is that really a faction? I don't think so. That's
I mean, it could be. It does look like a mob. I don't think we've seen like different versions of them.
About a bunch of different mobs, but we've only seen Fen Stalker. We haven't seen them as a faction.
That's true. We haven't seen like a Fen Stalker chief or
we
whatever.
We can talk
right?
about bears and mice and ember wolves and all that, but like those are regular mobs, and they deserve their own time, I think.
Yeah, no, I just thought since they're not really like an actual mob in real life, they could be considered to be like a faction. Like same with the goblins as well. I guess you can consider the goblins a faction.
Well, goblin I think is a faction.
It is. Not? I think so. Like they have their own boss.
They have like a bunch of archetypes, but I guess skeletons also do. But we know less about the skeletons. We know the Duke exists, and I think that's why I consider them more of a faction than anything.
But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a big skeleton boss as well that we haven't seen yet either.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, I don't actually think goblins are a faction.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were though. Like maybe like a sub faction in between factions.
I can see them being a faction, but now that I think about it, I think it is like the main ones, like Quebec, Trork,
Farron,
Scarrick,
Fawn, Outlander.
Yeah.
And then Slothian, and then there's not other one in Zone 4 besides like the dinosaurs, but I don't think they can talk, so.
Well, we don't know anything about Zone 4 like in general, so.
Yeah, we just know it's like hot.
Maybe there's like 2 factions per zone.
That's what a lot of people have theorized, but then again, like we haven't seen anything else in Zone 4, so who knows?
Because we have Trork and Quebec, Fair and Scarrick.
Yes.
Now we have Outlander and Slothian. We just need another one for Zone 3 and another one for Zone 4.
Yeah, and if you look at the Hytale like iconography concept art, it's the one with the elements on it. I believe, or is it called iconography? I don't even know what it's called. Let's be honest here. I believe it has the runes of every single like faction out there. So I think that's why we already have seen all the factions.
It is called Zone.
If you go to yes.
So there is Wind, Earth, Lightning, Water, Void.
Yeah, and then we see Trork ruins, Farrons, Sand Empress, Fawns, Slothians. We don't have Quebecs, surprisingly, but we know that's a faction. Then there's Gaia, and then Varen, obviously. So
the only ones that are factions that they've... Well, it's interesting, because they've only shown one of the Farron ruins. But they've shown 3 of the other ones. They've shown 3 Trork, 3 Fawns, and 3 Slothians.
Yeah.
Put the image up for people.
Yeah, I don't know if that means anything, because once again, there is no Quebec ones here. But also, do Quebecs use the Gaia ones? Because they're very intertwined with Gaia. I'll have to look at the Quebec image, but...
I really don't think it means anything.
I don't think so either.
It'd be interesting to talk about... No, I think everything's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything to talk about for that.
Because like the fact that we have the fawns there as well, and we've seen one like portrait drawn image of a fawn. That's the only thing we've ever seen of one. At least we to believe.
The other Zone 3.
No, they 100% will be because we see Buddy like either fighting or taming wolves or something. So they look really cool. I want to know a lot about the fawns. I think I made a video about them back in the day. That was a really good video. Nobody really watched it because that was back when I didn't have any subscribers, but it was a good video. I remember I was proud of that one, and I was sad when it got no views.
So now we just need to know what the last Zone 4 faction is, right?
We do.
Because we have 2 factions for every single zone apart from Zone 4. And then that brings into the question Zone 5 and 6. Like, hello? Are they going to have their own things? Are they going to be desolate? Are there 4 well, technically five. There's like five potential factions we don't even know about,
It's true.
assuming every zone has two.
Yeah, and I remember looking at this one dinosaur image. It's the Slothian one with the little hut. And on the little totem poles, there's like dragon-looking people. I don't know. I remember talking about this in like the High Circle Discord like a couple months ago with a few people. I don't know if you were there. I can't remember who was in that Discord with me, but we looked at it, and on the little totem pole where they have their lamps or whatever, there's like a dragon slash snake-looking people on there. If you could pull that up, that'd be really cool. And so we theorized that maybe like some dragon slash snake looking people could be the like second faction in Zone 4 that Hytale's trying to hide from us. But
Is this what
we
you were
found
looking
it.
for?
Sorry?
I sent the image in your DMs.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
this what you were looking for?
Let's see.
Or is it a different image?
No. It's the one where you can literally see like the dinosaur in the background. It's like that hut.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have it right.
And if you look at the totem poles on there, there is like snake looking things. If you zoom in on the back where they have like those lights, there is
Yeah.
on top it's the Slothian face, but then under it is like a dragon face with its guy's tongue sticking out.
Yeah, like a jade dragon.
Yes. And we were theorizing that that could be the other faction in Zone 4. But we've never seen anything like it.
Or it could. Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be dinosaurs.
It could also represent the dinosaurs.
I don't think it would though, because dinosaurs don't have like that lizard snake tongue. They have their
Yeah,
like the reason that tongue's like that is so like they
no.
can breathe, right? So it's so
Yeah, so that is a good theory for what the other Zone 4 faction could be. And it also makes it makes sense because every single zone so far has like a good faction and a bad faction.
yes.
Quebec good, Trork bad. Farron good, Scarrick bad. Fawn good, Outlander bad.
Yes.
Slothian good, Lizard bad. It kind of makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I don't know, I think there's some really cool lore to this as well, because you see on the totem poles, the Slothian head is on top of the dragon head, so I don't know what's gone on between those two. I don't know if they've scrapped it out in like their free time or whatever. Maybe those dragon people, they don't exist anymore for some reason whatsoever, and the Slothians are like, oh, we'll put our head on top of their head to like assert our dominance or something. Who knows?
Or
But-
maybe they're friendly with each other and they've kind of like
Yeah,
combined
they could be. They could be.
like a trading outpost or an embassy or something.
That would be cool. We don't know. Like, remember the what's it called? The Scorched Ruins, that like village on the surface world of Zone 4. You remember? I don't know if you've seen that. Could that village be where these lizard-esque people lived? We don't know, but it is possible that they could be up there. Maybe the Slothians are up there, and then they moved down into the underworld or whatever, the downstairs area. Maybe the Slothians took over the bottom parts of Zone 4 where these lizard people used to live. Once again, we don't know. I'm just theorizing, but I think there's some legs to this theory.
Is this the Scorched Ruins you were talking about?
Yeah, it's like that surface world where the guy's holding like a fire sword.
Oh yeah. I see.
Yeah, no, that's the same. That the image you sent me as well is the same. It's still a Scorched Ruins, but
Yes.
there's clearly
yeah.
nothing living there right now. Oh, actually,
Okay, so,
there
yeah,
was.
These are all Scorched Ruins.
These are all Scorched Ruins, all from the same blog post. I remember in the blog post they said like there's nobody living there, but then why are the lights lit or something? So maybe there clearly is something living there still.
Yeah, they're definitely indicating something,
Mhm.
and I mean, it had to be built by someone.
Yeah, I'm sure at one point in time, maybe when Zone 4 wasn't a dry, dead, fiery wasteland, this thing was probably very nice. And
Maybe
there
there was a lush forest, and everything just had to migrate down.
Exactly. So that's why I think maybe those two guys like somehow collided or something back in the underworld of Zone 4. Yeah, I think there's some good likes to that, but that's just me.
I think that's an excellent theory.
Mhm.
Are there any other factions that we have not really talked about? We haven't talked about the Quebecs. We've got to. Come on, they're our mascot.
All right, let's talk about the Quebecs.
Quebecs, burnable.
Connor's favorite
They will
faction.
be burnable.
We know that. We do know that they will be burnable. Anywho, moving on. I'm kidding. There's a lot to know about the Quebecs. Like they have their own like specific lifespan, not specific lifespans, but they have their own like life stages. We know about their life stage. It goes like, what is it, seedling to little baby
Feeding
Quebec
out
to
something, blah, blah, blah.
tree
Yeah.
singer to ancestral elder. Like it's really, I love how they are like that. And then once they die, they become a tree. And then once like the tree's ready to give birth, they drop their like seeds or whatever. And then the cycle continues with the seedlings.
Imagine if that's how you farm wood in Hytale, is you just kill Quebecs over and over again.
That would be so fun. Imagine that's how, instead of punching a tree, you punch a Quebec. That's how you get wood for the first time.
Axe Quebec.
If you can axe one, like just
Yeah.
slice its head off.
Okay, I was gonna say arm, but yeah.
Oh,
slice it.
okay. Yeah, that would make a better stick than a head probably. So, yeah. I don't know how Connor would feel about that, because I'm personally on the Quebec Protection Society, so I don't know if I do that.
Do like a critical hit damage to Quebecs.
Axe. Yeah, they're like, oh no, axes and fire, their biggest enemies. Yeah. Axes and fire. So if you have a fire axe, this is just the ultimate weapon.
That has to like one shot a Quebec.
I think it has to. Hytale devs, if you guys are watching, if there's a way, because we know there's a fire sword. If you guys can make like a fire axe in the game.
I really hope that there's going to be elemental weapons for every single weapon
Oh
class.
god, how sick would that be?
Lame if there's only a fire sword but no fire axe or spear.
Imagine like lightning daggers, like the movement speed you can use with that would be so cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm so pumped. We do know there's the demonic axe, which probably has some sort of void in it. So, I think that's a good transition to the next thing that we want to talk about. Yeah, the demonic axe.
Let's talk about the demonic axe.
Okay, so a few weeks ago in a podcast, we mentioned the tooltip concept art in a podcast, and we were reading off like how there's specific armor stats and rarities for weapon. We don't know if that still continues into modern day Hytale, because this is back in like 2019, but we're gonna talk about it because not many people talk about this like one concept art. I know it's one concept art out of like the hundreds that we have, but I think this is a very important one.
I agree. So let's go at the very beginning. Truck sword, the one to talk about the least. It's common. It's 7 to 13 damage. It's very slow. It has a DPS of 9.8. It's a two-handed sword, so you hold it with two hands, obviously. That's also probably why it's very slow. And there's a 15 out of 15 on it. Let's talk about that first. Because every single one of these weapons on the bottom right has a number out of a number. Now, they're obviously all full. And like the... Yeah. But like, what does the 15 mean? Because does that mean durability? Can you only use it 15 times? That doesn't make sense.
Honestly, I was thinking durability, but I have no idea. Because all of these are full, like, health weapons, right? So we don't know if there's one that was, like, 50%, like the one there's one that's 70 to 70. So if it was 35 out of 70, we see it at 50%, like, load bar or whatever, then yeah, we would know that it's durability. But 15 out of 15. It's a common weapon, so it's not like there's 15 of them out there, considering there's, like, 140 demonic axes, right? So,
Right.
I don't know.
It is a common weapon, but the issue I just see is like 15 hits is nothing.
Yeah, that is not a lot. I mean, it does look like a pretty weak weapon, I have to say. But still, like, I have no idea.
It says 9.8 DPS, which is literally just the middle of... No, it's towards the 7 and not the 13.
It's very close to the 7. It must be harder to get a critical, I guess. Maybe critical's 13. And then on average, it's like 9 to 8.
I don't know how to math that out, but I assume it hits like once per second.
I would assume so. I mean, we've seen the guy in that video swinging an axe, right? So, yeah, it seems like a very heavy weapon. And yeah, 15 hits, that doesn't seem very strong.
Yeah, the issue is in like 15 seconds, your weapon's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So then what do you really do with that? But then you move on to the next one, like the armor, it's like 30. So you can only take 30 hits?
Yeah, so the next one is Soldier's Chestplate. It's a rare, so it's blue. The rarities are generally the same from most video games you know about. Rare is blue, epic is purple, and legendary is yellow. So the Soldier's Chestplate is rare. It has 28 defense, 9 health, 13... Okay, there's... Like, we can even go into this. There's, like, a shield icon that says 28. Then there's a health icon that says 9. And then there's an attack icon that says 13. What in the world does that mean?
Does it give you extra health when you're wearing this chest plate? And then maybe I assume the the shield is like defense, right?
Yeah,
Then
that's
the
what I'm
health
assuming.
is, does it give you 9 extra like health points
Maybe
to increase into your
9.
bar? I maybe.
What if
Does
it gives you, because the attack icon is the same as the DPS,
mhm.
what if it gives you 13 DPS, 9 health, and 28 armor?
Hmm.
Because
Hold up. If
13
you add
DPS.
those up, 9 plus 13, that gives you 28, right? If I'm doing my math correctly?
What? No, it gives
No.
you 22.
I'm bad at math. Never mind. That is okay. We don't talk about that.
9
Never
plus
mind.
13 equals 28.
Never mind. Never. Oh god, it's gonna get clipped. Okay, now throw that theory out of there. I was like, does it add up? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm stupid. This is
Okay,
why
so
I don't get into smart people things.
it gives you. If we're going off the theory that it gives you 13 damage, it wouldn't be. I mean, it would be
What
insane.
would you do? Take it off and whack people with your chest plate?
So much damage. I don't know. It wouldn't make sense. I
Can you
don't know
like body
icon
slam
is.
somebody? Like do a dash maybe? I don't know.
Maybe it means like protection up to this point.
Hmm. That's so
Protection up.
strange, right? Like, because
No,
it's the
but it's
same
like,
symbol as the demonic axe and the fire sword and the
yeah,
torque
it's the
sword.
same icon as the damage. So I don't know. I think we're wasting our time right now just like assuming what it means because we don't know. There's just too many icons and not enough text. Also,
Yes.
please, Hytale, devs, if anyone's listening, this is not very intuitive for someone who's just playing the game and picked it up and sees a bunch of icons.
Mm-hmm.
Have text there, please. Just have text being like,
Please,
my,
Hytale.
my heart, what does that do? Please. Because like
That would be
if
great.
I'm playing right now, I see these icons. I don't know where you would find out what that does. Maybe like an in-game wiki, or because it wouldn't make sense if you hover over the thing because you're hovering over the item to see the text, so you can't
Mm-hmm.
hover over things at once.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, once the game comes up, we'll know what it means. But 13, 9 extra life. Like,
I can't
I
tell you.
couldn't tell you. Like, I don't know. Maybe since it's a rare item, it gives you some sort of special extra thing on there. Like, maybe that's what it gives you extra health, maybe extra damage if you're wearing it, because it's a soldier's chest plate. But I have no idea.
Yeah, and these are tooltip concepts.
Yes,
These are
that's fair.
concept art
Mm-hmm.
from I don't know how long ago they made these, so
Mm-hmm.
these are not going to look the same. Just like disclosure, is that no disclaimer? Disclaimer
Disclaimer.
right
Yes.
now. These are all going to change. I can almost guarantee you somehow.
Yeah, even a little bit, right? Like,
Stats are definitely going to change, but like icons itself are also going to change to a bit, to a degree. And I just hope there's going to be text on the armor because I don't know what the armor does.
I know. I want to know. Let's move on to the fire sword now, because that's the next
Or
one on there.
the one we saw in the trailer,
We have
probably one
gameplay of
of
this
the
thing.
most seen weapons of all time in Hytale. It's a fan favorite. It's the
Fan
fire
favorite.
sword, 22 to 29 damage. So it seems like a mid-range, mid-game kind of weapon. It does 25.79 DPS.
Oh, I don't. That's not. I think that's a comma. I think it's 25 to 79
That makes
DPS.
no sense. No, in
No,
Europe,
no, no. That's a comma. That is a comma.
right? That is comma, but in
What?
Germany, a comma and a like period have the opposite meaning.
What?
I
Really?
don't know if that's the same in Ireland.
See, what I took from that is that maybe it's 79 DPS if it lights you on fire. Like that. That's like if it lights you on fire and it
No,
hits
no,
you.
no, no. No,
But
it is definitely the comma is a decimal point.
I don't know, because then it says enemies have a chance to be set on fire.
Yeah,
That's where I think that
damage-
79 comes from.
I think fire's gonna do 79 damage when
Hey.
the sword itself only does 20.
You never know, my guy. You never know. You never know.
I think for the rest of the discussion, we need to assume the comma means a period, because I know that's how it is in German. I'm gonna look it up for Ireland.
So you think the torque sword does 9.8 DPS then? If you do the average between... No, it wouldn't even work that way. 7 to 13. 9.8 wouldn't even be the middle. Wouldn't it be 10? So... I don't know. Yeah, we're doing some learning in this podcast today.
I'm looking up.
I didn't know that a comma means a period. Why would they flip that? That's so annoying. So then going back to the... Sorry.
Okay, here it is.
Okay.
However, it's important to note that the United Kingdom is an exception because they tend to follow the imperial system, which uses the decimal point. So the United Kingdom does use a decimal point. An apostrophe for that. This is not making sense. I'm not gonna lie. I just want Ireland, but it's not telling me Ireland. Which use... Okay, Quora thread. This can never be wrong.
Quora's never wrong. While you're looking this up, Sciolto got back to me in DMs. So I'm like, hey, recording a podcast live right now. Quick question, what's your favorite Hytale faction? And she said, Farron's and Quebecs for sure. Also, generally a Gaia fan. She's so pretty. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so here's the problem. Ireland does use a dot.
Ooh, okay.
There's like so many countries that use a period, like a comma.
Like, do you personally use a period or do you use a comma? Like, I know you're from Germany, right? But
well, I'm in America, so it
yeah,
would not
so you use a period then.
You have to use the countries.
Yeah.
In Germany, you could not use not a comma.
Yeah,
and
also just throwing this out there again, this is concept art, so maybe the 79 was just a placeholder for something back in the day.
It doesn't make sense. Okay, I think we are wasting our time right now.
Let's move on to the demonic axe, because that's really what we wanted to talk about in this, because this is like the coolest thing. It's a legendary weapon, does 41 to 54 damage, and then it's got a DPS of 46, comma 15, like 0.15. I get, is that in between the two? 41 and 54.
Yeah, all of the DPS are like in between the two numbers. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so yeah, I guess it could be. I mean, 25.79 is like a weird number, right? But
so is 46.15.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Maybe it's just an average or whatever. Who knows? But on here,
the soul of your slain enemies, increasing your damage for a limited time. Oof. Some of the damage you deal is reflected back at you. Oh shit, I am never using this. I hate any weapon that does damage to yourself.
Did you ever play the Minecraft game mode called Blood Diamond back in the day? It's like a UHC like extra thing. So you mine a diamond, you lose half a heart. So it's like it sort of stops those people who use like X-ray hacks back in the day. So instead of just mining diamonds, they'd just be like, oh well, I'm taking damage when I'm mining them now. So yeah, it's really cool.
I know there's like a lot of video games that have like weapons that are generally stronger but deal damage to yourself, and I just always avoid them because I hate healing or having lower health. So this is obviously the same thing with the demonic axe. Looking at the blade fills you with a sense of dread.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not have like a text saying this was dropped by a soul thing?
Yeah, did we not? I swear
we doesn't have it on here.
Where's the other one? I know I have two in my file, so let me pull that up real quick. Let me pull that up real quick.
Up in our DMs. Hold on. Okay, so if you're an avid Hytale podcast fan, you will remember, and I believe the second episode.
Did they change it?
Because we saw concept art of this weapon, and it had the text of it being dropped by like some demonic soul thing. I found it. Once belonged to a demon soul reaper. Wait, there's two images. What the fuck?
There is two images. What the heck?
Or do you have it too?
I have it too. I have both of them. I have.
No, which one's real now?
I gotta go on the Hytale website real quick and find out.
Wait,
Hold on. Hold on. Why is there
two?
I'm going all the way to the bottom. Is it user interface? This is a. What?
Wait, we are both on high alert right now. Okay.
Okay, so the one on the Hytale website says once belonged to a demon soul reaper. That's the website one. So then where did this other one come from?
What in the world?
I'm so confused. Why is there two?
Put both of them on the screen right now so that people
they update
understand our confusion.
Is there a way to look at when I downloaded images on my computer? No, I have a new computer, so I wouldn't have been able to. If somebody can look at the Hytale code on the website, on the first ever blog post they put, so you can see if they ever updated like an image. I don't know if you can do that or it's even possible, but that's crazy.
Where did I get that image from?
No, I have it too. I sent it to you.
You sent it to.
I sent you the wrong one. That's crazy. Why is there two? So what did the first one say?
The one that you sent says,
Yeah.
looking at the blade fills you with a sense of dread. It's just like a lore text. But the like real one that's on the Hytale website says, one belonged to a demon soul reaper.
Yeah. So I don't know where the image that we have is from. I assume it has to be from the Hytale website. But I'm confused right now. Hytale devs, if this is something that's broken, let me know, because
I'm like looking up the Hytale weapons on Google Images right now, and I cannot find the image you sent.
Where did I get this? That's crazy.
You have a forbidden image.
Sorry?
You have a forbidden image.
I have a cursed Hytale image. What the heck? Looking at the blade, it fills you with a sense of dread. That's just looking at the blade.
Right, because it was dropped by a demon. It's like a demonic thing. It would make sense to.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm just flabbergasted to where the heck we got this image from, or where that guy got this image from, considering the one on the website has something to do with the Soul Demon Reaper. Yeah, I'm surprised they even updated their concept art at all, because all the other ones, I believe, are the same. All the values.
You found it. Okay. Wait, this is from the Hytale website. Wait, what?
Hold up, what?
Okay, go on Google Images and type in Hytale tooltips concept.
Hytale.
The first image is looking at the blade gives you a sense of dread. If I click on it, let me see what the website says.
All right, let's go.
The blog post says looking at the blade gives. Wait, they're both real. Wait. This is like some crazy secret. They uploaded 2 images. Okay, go on the blog post.
All right, hold on. This is intense right now. I'm on the blog post right now. Wait, hold on. Let me share. I'm gonna share my my website.
Do it.
Display capture this.
Because
I am on the Hytale website right now. All right, I am on the sneak peek at Hytale's user interface. This is live, guys. Okay, what's next? Where am I going?
At the very bottom, are you on? Yeah, at the very bottom you see the image.
Yes.
The preview image, without clicking on it, says
Oh,
the blade fills you with a sense of dread.
I see that. So if I'm gonna zoom in on this so people can see that. Right there, looking at the blade fills you with a sense of dread. Okay, so then I put it.
The image.
But then if I click,
the Demon Soul Reaper.
That is insane. What? Wait a minute. So if you were to look at other Hytale things, are they different then?
Okay, that's like something we have to do on our own time, but like, what? But like, now that you click, wait, because that's so weird, because clicking on it opens it in a new tab for me.
It does for me. What if you save it?
If you go back to the website, it opens like the preview like you'd normally expect it, and that one says Sense of Dread. So where did this Demon Soul Reaper image come from?
I don't know. The link is different too. I don't know what CDN means, but I assume that's just like a pop-up like new page, but
yeah, CDN.Hytale. Oh, that's something we gotta like tell our dev friends. Be like, yo, what is this domain? CDN.Hytale.com.
Maybe we shouldn't be looking at this live on the podcast, but that's crazy. Because I'm like, no way there's 2 different images, right? But I guess there is.
I'm confused how this would even happen.
Yeah. Because they've clearly made 2 different images for this even to work.
Yeah, they obviously had to upload 2 very different images, knowing that they're different.
Did they change the lore?
Are these... one of these is not supposed to be shown, and I think the Demon Soul Reaper is the one that they're trying to hide. Because the preview one shows the Sense of Dread.
Yeah. I don't know if they just messed up the website or something, because that's very possible. I know there's been a few glitches and stuff on the website, like sometimes.
Right. No.
But
That's definitely like unintentional. They did not mean to like.
no. But
I mean,
to be fair,
maybe
though,
it is an Easter egg. Maybe
there
I
was
doubt it could be.
there was Konami code hidden in like the official Hypixel Studios website. So Hytale does like a good teaser here and there, but
This seems so random.
that does seem so random.
Imagine if this is like the key they needed to like release the beta. They're like, okay, you guys found our secret, the Demon Soul Reaper. Here's the beta.
Yeah,
You know, they were like, hey, you guys, we have some more secrets left.
That's
This is
crazy.
the secret.
So, audio only viewers, I really recommend you guys watch the video version of this podcast because
Highly recommend it.
I can't show this on like Spotify, right? You can't. You can take our word for it, what we're saying, because we could see it. But this is crazy. That's how is this even possible? So now there's going to be people going over every single image in every single blog post.
Yeah,
Like-
someone with a lot of time on their hands
Yeah.
is gonna double check every single blog post and their images.
That's insane, dude. Wow.
Wow.
The
Okay.
things we think of, or the things we find on this podcast. And then there was somebody in our last comment section saying, "Oh, you guys aren't the first to do these things." I think we are. Like, let me
We
tell
are
you.
definitely the first people to do this.
Because I remember looking at that image and I'm like, since when the heck did it say Soul Demon King or whatever the hell it said? Or Soul Reaper?
We would have known about that. We would have talked about a Demon Soul King or Reaper or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Demon Soul Reaper. We would have known that term.
That's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Oh, what? I don't know. I'm a lost for words.
Lost
as
for
you
words. Absolute loss for words. Like, yeah, I'll DM a staff member or a Hytale dev to see like what the heck's going on with that. We'll follow up on
Yeah.
the next podcast if that's even possible, or if they
Yeah.
tell us to stop talking and give us a beta
the
key.
next-
But
Stay tuned for the next Hytale podcast. If we do not mention it, but if we do mention it, we figured something out.
exactly, we did. We're about an hour in right now. I think this is the
About an hour
perfect
in.
time. The perfect time to end the podcast off a
Wow.
like. What do we even... This has to be the greatest podcast we ever filmed in our lives.
This actually is the best episode. So if you guys are watching the Hytale podcast and want to recommend it to your friends, link them this one. This
And link it... We'll timestamp this because that's crazy. I mean, we do timestamp them anyway, but like... I don't know.
Wow.
Are we just blowing this
my
out of
God.
proportion, or did we just like...
people were complaining about clickbait, and like to be fair, some of them we get creative with the titles.
We do. We do.
This is
We need somebody to draw a Demon Soul Reaper just so we can put it in the thumbnail of today's video.
insane.
Like, we already named a video Hytale's Biggest Secret, but this podcast is...
This actually might be Hytale's biggest secret. Like, what the fuck? Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.